Pentagon cancels construction projects at planned Fort Trump in Poland to fund Donald Trump's border wall with Mexico. The Pentagon is taking $3.6 billion from military construction projects to fund border wall construction. Multiple projects are being deferred in Poland, where Trump canceled a visit last week. One was $21 million for bulk storage at Poładd Air Base, where Trump reportedly planned to visit days ago. It is the site of a Polish base where NATO and the U.S. plan to bolster forces, in part due to increased tensions with Moscow. $239 million in military construction costs in Poland deferred. Poland's president Duda offered financing and even said he'd name it Fort Trump. Other cuts hit Republican senators who are up for re-election. GOP Sen. Martha McSally reported that her state is nicked for $30 million and says she lobbied to get other cuts off the list. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, RKY, would lose a $63 million middle school at Fort Camp, a loss of $8 million for Peterson Air Force Base, home state of Sen. Cory Gardner, who is up for re-election. B. Jeff Earl, deputy U.S. political editor for DailyMail.com, published 2108 British Summer Time, the 5th of September 2019, updated 026 British Summer Time, the 6th of September 2019. The Pentagon is taking millions of construction dollars away from a planned Fort Trump base in Poland that the president planned to visit days ago in order to fund wall construction on the Mexican border. The cuts, which total $239 million for Poland following Trump's decision to cancel a scheduled trip there, include construction at Poładd, the base where NATO is plowing in resources as Trump seeks to station more U.S. forces in Eastern Europe amid tensions with Moscow and the president's peek at Germany. Among the cuts revealed by the Pentagon are $21 million for a bulk storage facility there, as well as $6 million for a rail extension railhead. Other cuts in Poland don't list a precise location, but are for staging areas and ammunition storage facilities. Poładd is being upgraded as a depot and storage facility for U.S. combat vehicles. The Pentagon is cutting millions of construction funds overseas and at home, including at Poładd Air Base in Poland, which the Polish president offered to name Fort Trump. Here KC-135s from the 100th Air Refueling Wing, England, and 434th Air Refueling Wing, Grissom Air Reserve Base, Indiana, land at Poładd Air Base, Poland, in preparation for exercise Baltops 2016. June 2, 2016. The site has geopolitical importance, and Polish President Duda, a close Trump ally, has offered $2 billion in financing and even offered to name it Fort Trump. Trump was expected to visit Poładd during his trip, where he was to join in events marking the Nazi invasion of 1939, according to Polish media. The president nixed it at the last minute last week as Hurricane Dorian approached the U.S., and sent Vice President Mike Pence in his place. The cuts in Poland, after the country had to scrub a planned dinner, music, and press event with Trump in the Royal Castle in Warsaw, are among a total of $3.60 billion the Pentagon identified for deferred or canceled spending in order to pay for Trump's border wall. The Pentagon didn't immediately return a request for comment about the cuts in Poland. Other cuts abroad would target such facilities as a working dog training facility replacement at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and 13 deferred projects in Germany. President Donald Trump declared an emergency at the border and is reprogramming funds construct border wall. The Pentagon is deferring spending on several military construction projects in Poland, including at a strategically important base that the Polish president offered to name Fort Trump. Other cuts come from states including North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, Colorado, and Arizona. Funds totaling $1.1 billion are also being drawn from deferred projects in the U.S., angering members of both parties in Congress, which had appropriated the funds for them. The Pentagon also will claw back funds from projects in the home states of Republican senators who are up for re-election in 2020. Senate Republicans say they will work to backfill the funds, although House Democrats say they won't reimburse funds that are being used to circumvent normal appropriations directed in law. Among Republicans being impacted are North Carolina's Thom Tillis, whose state will lose $80 million worth of projects. The deferred projects include a Boeing refueling tanker at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and a replacement elementary school at Fort Bragg. Colorado will lose $8 million for a space control project at Peterson Air Force Base in the home state of Republican Sen. Cory Gardner, who is up for re-election, The Hill reported. One of the Senate's most endangered Republicans in the 2020 election, appointed Arizona Sen. Martha McSally reported that her state is getting nicked for just $30 million from a project that was being delayed anyway. "We need to secure our border and protect our military. We can and should do both," McSally said. "I went to the mat to fight for Arizona projects and succeeded," she cast it as a win, saying in a statement, which she had to correct after first saying the loss was $30,000, that the project was already delayed due to environmental hold-ups. Sen. Martha McSally released a statement saying she fought off more severe cuts, but her stand is withstanding a $30 million reduction. The transferred funds include the loss of with $8 million for Peterson Air Force Base, home state of Sen. Cory Gardner, who is up for re-election but her Democratic opponent could still point to the cuts in what is expected to be a tough re-election campaign for her. She is likely to face retired astronaut Mark Kelly. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, who is also facing re-election, would lose a $63 million middle school at Fort Campbell. The GOP Senate voted to overturn Trump's emergency declaration at the southern border, but not by enough to override a veto. 12 Republicans joined Democrats on the vote. The Pentagon is also slicing funds from target ranges, school construction, aircraft hangars, and ammo depots to construct 175 miles of fencing, in order to meet Trump's promise of building a wall. During the campaign, Trump said Mexico would pay for it. President Trump should not build his ineffective, xenophobic vanity project on the backs of our service members and military families, said Maryland Democratic Rep. Anthony Brown. The list includes a loss of $13 million for a child care center at Joint Base Andrews. Servicemen and women stationed at the base maintain and operate Air Force One. File. In this March 11, 2019 photo, construction crews replace a section of the primary wall separating San Diego, above right, and Tijuana, Mexico, below left, seen from Tijuana, Mexico. Defense Secretary Mark Esper has approved the use of $3.6 billion in funding from military construction projects to build 175 miles of President Donald Trump's wall along the Mexican border. AP photo, Gregory Bull. File. To pay for his xenophobic border wall boondoggle, President Trump is about to weaken our national security by stealing billions of dollars from our military, fumed Rep. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, D. Florida, who chairs a key military construction panel. The House of Representatives will not backfill any projects he steals from today. Congress appropriated $1.4 billion for wall construction, far less than what Trump demanded. But after signing legislation including the funds, Trump declared a national emergency and began identifying other accounts from throughout the government for wall funding. Let's block ads. Why?